Hey everyone, I am so excited for tonight's call. We have an amazing guest speaker, but before we jump into that and introduce her, I do want to make a few quick announcements just because I can't ignore everything that's going on. So I just want to address a few things just in case maybe this will like put you at ease a little bit. But we did get word from Arbonne Home Office today. Arbonne is going to keep operating. You're still going to get your products. Our clients will still get their products. And of course, they're doing everything in their power to keep our best interests in the forefront. They are going to keep us updated on everything, but they are going to keep shipping out products. So there's not going to be anything in the way of that. And now more than ever, I'm so thankful for an online business that people can literally click an order and get their products delivered directly to them. So a lot of NVPs are actually commenting in the NVP page that they were having their biggest months ever. So I think that, it's easy to try to use this time as an excuse that so much is going on and that you can't work your business. But I just want to encourage you to, use this downtime as a blessing. Think of it as a blessing to work your business and be able to connect with new people and just grow your business in ways that you could not even imagine. So now's the time to really plug in and lean into this business. Be thankful that we have consumable products that people need, and products that can be delivered right to their door. So I think now more than ever is the time to share this gift. And I guarantee you there are people right now that have just got word that they've lost their job or just got word that they're off for 2 or 3 weeks indefinitely. Like they don't know how long they're going to be off, and they are praying for an opportunity. And we have an incredible gift that we get to share with people. So I want you to keep that in mind. And as long as we're doing that with love and compassion, we are, doing what we're supposed to do, and we're doing our job. So I just want you to think of this, in a positive light, as positive as you can make it, and just be thankful that you do have this opportunity to work your business from home, online, and just be, sure that you're not letting your excuses get in the way. And Cecilia Stoll put out a message to her team today, and I just want to, if you didn't see it, a little bit of it. She said, "This is our time to grow. We get to grow our connections, grow ourselves, grow your dreams." And she said that we have been given the greatest power bestowed upon mankind, the power of choice, and we get to choose how we react to life's circumstances or what people throw at us. So she said, let's rise up, let's speak hope in life over people, even if that's over social media. So that's like, the social distancing stuff. Like, thank goodness we still have social media, and we can still connect with people through our weekly team calls, and we can connect with people over FaceTime and through Instagram and Facebook. So it really is, we can make a positive spin on it. So I just wanted to address that. I'm going to hand it over to Hannah really quickly because she's going to introduce our amazing guest speaker. They got to meet at GTC last year because they were both walking as brand new RVPs, and they just hit it off. And I'm not going to say any more or take any more of her time, but she's going to introduce her, and I'm so excited to learn from her tonight.
Yay! I am so freaking excited to introduce our guest speaker tonight. She is a dear friend of mine, just such a special place in my heart. So like Kat said, we got to meet last year at GTC in Vegas, and literally we just hit it off right off the bat. We just happened to be in the same part of the line, walking across the stage as new regional vice presidents, and because we both have last names that start with F. But anyways, I always just like to say, this is the culture of Arbonne. Whenever you're at an Arbonne event, maybe you're not around your sponsor or your sideline sisters or anything like that. The culture of Arbonne is that anyone's going to make you feel so loved, so cared about, so special, so welcome. And that's exactly what Iram did for me. And she has the most incredible story. I'm not going to take too much away from it, but y'all, this is such a special treat for her to be on and taking the time out of her night to hop on and give us some of her nuggets of wisdom. She is a single mom to 2 beautiful baby girls, and she's also the sole caretaker to her elderly parents. And she's going to tell y'all about how she was introduced to Arbonne in one of the hardest times of her life, and she actually built her business to the regional vice president level in 6 months from a hospital room. And if that doesn't show you determination, grit, just absolutely no excuses making it happen. I just don't know what will. But she's incredible. She is an AIT level 4 achiever, and she's also been asked to speak at so many different Arbonne events. So like I said, this is such a treat. We are so excited to hear from you, and y'all take your pens out, your notebooks, whatever you need. I'm in my car, so I'm going to put my screen off, and I'm going to take notes on my phone. So absolutely, we cannot wait to hear from you. So without further ado, you can go ahead.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Hannah and Kat, for giving me the honor. I was just thinking, I was like, oh my God, what can I say to this team who is already the best team in the world? Everybody wants to be on this team. Everybody is like, okay, we want to be on this team. And like, I don't think there anything, tips that I can give you, but we are like, but something like, again, like everything happens for a reason. As Hannah said, that Arbonne came into my life when I was going through a very difficult time. And then if anything that any takeaway that you take, from my story, it's basically there's so many people who are not prepared for an impact. And what a time that I'm doing this call, because we're supposed to do this call earlier. And then I think everything happens for a reason. This is the best time to do this call, because if coronavirus affects you, your business, it should affect you only in one way. It should drive you to do more. That's it. It should motivate you to do more, because as Kat said, there's so many people who are losing their jobs, who are struggling with like so many life and family issues, and you have the answer to those problems. And like in my story, another thing you will learn that when I was going through that difficult time, nobody ever asked me to do Arbonne. No one ever prospected me for Arbonne. I found Arbonne as I was going through my journey in my life, and I will share that. But I want you to, rather than slowing down, I want you to think that I need to do more. You need to make more money now. You need to be more successful so you can give it to other people. My biggest fear right now is that what if somebody comes to me for help and I don't have enough to share? And that's what driving me. So after this call, I want you to go back to your vision board and look at your why. Your why should get bigger, because now it's not about just you or your family or your kids, or like, I know most of the people like your young millennials, but it's not about you anymore. You have the power to change someone's life. So I want you to write down at the end of this call and go back to your vision board, that how many lives you want to save, how many people you want to help. And help means how many people you want to help them become financially independent. What that means is, in Arbonne, how many people you want to help to become an area manager or vice president, because at that level they can have a stable income. And to do that, you have to be one, right? And so that means you have to do it faster. You're already ahead of them, so work harder. And we have a virtual business, and right now take advantage of everything. Like, I know today we had a call, and I can share the resources from like Canada. All the national vice presidents in the UK, they came together. They're doing a DA every week, every day of the week. We are Canadian national vice presidents are doing it every day. I know your team and national vice president in US are doing it. Make sure you plug in and make a goal that you are going to bring at least 2 to 5 guests to every DA. Everything is online. Share this business with more people and keep growing. So now back to my story. So as Hannah said, I am a single mom, and I was a struggling single mom. I have been fighting a very nasty divorce and custody battle for now. This is the 5th year and still ongoing. So 5 years, and this relationship basically left me financially and physically drained. I was living in a shelter. My daughters were just 2 and 3 years old, and I had no money. I had to go on social assistance. And before I got married, I had a big corporate career. So I graduated from a top business school in Canada. So I had a very good job. I have worked in States as well. I was a marketing director for Colgate Palmolive, and I traveled the world and everything. But after I got married, I did not work, and which is very, common in our culture. And I think once I went through that domestic abuse situation, that literally changed me as a person. Not I just lost, I felt like I lost everything and I was just drowning. And that's another thing I call Arbonne my life jacket. So what happened was, I was stuck in a city where I had no family and friends, and I was not able to leave because of my custody issues. And but as a single parent, I had to make an income. But one thing I was very stubborn about, that I'm not going to leave my daughters in a daycare and I'm going to work from home. I didn't know about Arbonne. Nobody asked me for Arbonne. So the only thing I could think of doing was to cook. So I became a certified vegan chef, and I started my catering business from home. So and that is another, that's where I learned another important lesson. You know, a lot of time we think, okay, we're going to start our own business, we'll become financially independent, and then the only difference between owning a physical business, other business, or home business, any other home-based business, or like physical retail business, or a job, is yes, we can schedule our own hours, we are our own boss, but we are still trading time for money. And that's exactly what happened like in my situation, because my business was established, I was doing well, but like 15 months ago, my mother was diagnosed with very aggressive form of cancer, and that changed everything for me. So doctors told me that she is not independent, she needs a lot of care, so we need to put her in a nursing home. And just like my kids, I was not ready. Like I was like, if I cannot leave my kids in a daycare, how can I leave my parents in a nursing home? So I closed my business because I cannot cook from the hospital. And my mother was hospitalized for 6 months. She was in isolation because right when she started her chemo, her immune system completely shut down. And I was in the hospital like 24/7 with her. So again, my income stopped. And then, as I said, I'm also fighting a custody battle. So the legal opposition, they intensified the legal case, and they were making a case against me that I'm not financially stable, so he should get the primary custody for my daughters. So you can imagine, I was in that situation where I couldn't leave my mom, and I also couldn't leave my kids. But there was no company that was offering me that I could work from the hospital, or I can do both, right? And still I didn't know about Arbonne, right? So what happened was I started, so my mom's cancer was not genetic, it's environmentally induced. So I started looking into changing her diet and lifestyle and everything, and I started researching products. And that's how I found out about Arbonne. So you know how you Google something and that it shows up on your social media, and you're all social media gurus, so you know. So I just figured it out later on. So my sponsor name showed up on Facebook. I just messaged her initially just to ask for the products, like, hey, I want to order these products for my mom and for myself. How can I get those? And that's how we connected. And then she told me about the business. And first I was hesitant. I said, no, I cannot commit to anything. I just closed my another business. I'm not in that position. I'm always in the hospital. And she just said to me that you can do it from the hospital. So it was like, you know, Jerry Maguire moment, like, you know, you had me at hello. I was like, okay, sign me up. She didn't even do the DA. I didn't hear the business presentation, nothing. I just said, sign me up. I signed up. So it was around like October, end of October, early November 2018. I became a district manager in 1 week. I had no idea what I was doing, but I just, you know, but I believed in the product. And that is going to be, I will come to that when I will share my personal tips that what helped me to become successful in this business. I really believed in the product. So I was not thinking that I'm selling something to somebody. I already like bought those products for myself and shared it in our family. And that's how you become a district manager. And then in December, my mother got really critical. And then I again stopped working even Arbonne. My sales were zero. I just didn't know. And that's another beauty of this business. Like, you know, if it was, I was working in a corporate world, I would have lost my job, or I would have lost my, you know, career. But here you always have the option. You can always come back, right? So in January, when she got a little bit stable, I came back, and I was just, I plugged into just one of those trainings from the hospital room, and they were talking about, it was Annie Graft, who was one of the, you know, trainer on that call. And she said, hey guys, I was the district manager last year in January 18, and she became a national vice president by December 2018. And when I watched that call, I was like, okay, if she can do this, I can do this. And that literally, that was the mind shift that happened in my you know, head. And I think sometimes you need that visual proof. For me, the timeline, the certainty that it is possible, and when you see other people doing it, then always like have faith that you can do this too. So I think for me, that what changed. And then I worked really hard, and from January it took me 4 months to get to RVP level. And I built my entire business from the hospital room. I never met anybody, including my sponsor, until I became a vice president. I never saw anyone. I was, because when I went through that, that abusive marriage, I literally lost all my self-confidence and belief in myself. And because throughout my marriage, the only thing I heard was that I am a failure, I cannot do anything, and I'm a zero. So I started believing that. So even though I believed in Arbonne, I didn't believe in myself. So when I was doing the calls and I was doing presentations, I never opened my video camera. Nobody ever saw me. I felt like the company is so amazing. If they will see me, they will change their mind. I don't want them to judge Arbonne because of how bad I am, right? So, so that was something like, I also say like this business is not just has a financial impact on you. This business changes you as a person. Like, we always talk about the personal development. So what this business did for me, it took me out of depression. It gave me that self-confidence and belief. Like, I still struggle with it. I still have to, for you, I don't know if you notice, I always have my camera off at the beginning. It takes me like a couple of seconds to get that courage. I was like, it's okay. And then I go for it. But now slowly I feel like, I'm coming back to that mindset. And like, my team, I love my team, they love me. In Arbonne, everybody, and that's the beauty of this company. I mean, like, they love you. It doesn't matter what you look like, what background you come from. It's just they love you for who you are. Like, as long you have a good heart and helping heart, and you want to help people, you will be at the top in of this company. And you don't have to wait for somebody to die or retire to become a vice president. All of us can become a vice president. So tell me any other corporate culture where they give you that kind of opportunity, and you can actually bypass all of us, right? So if you work harder and you have a bigger goals, nobody can stop you. Your success is not dependent on your upline or me or anybody else. It's just you are the only one. So so that's the thing. So because of Arbonne, I was able to become financially independent. So by the next court date, I was able to stand in court and like feel confident that nobody can take my kids away from me. For those 6 months, I never left my mom alone in a hospital for a single night. So I was able to take care of my family and also make an income. I was also able to get, we all know once you become a vice president, you get your own Mercedes. So can you imagine, like 6 months prior to that, I was struggling because I was in the hospital and my kids were missing a lot of school. And then they were also using that against me, that I'm not a good mom, and, kids' interest is not my first priority. So me and my dad, we were looking for second-hand car, anything that's just running and he can drop them to school. But I couldn't afford, my budget was so low that I couldn't afford anything. And can you imagine, 6 months later, I was standing in the Mercedes-Benz dealership and getting a brand new Mercedes as my second car. So it was also, and again, it's not just about the car, it's like what this business represents, how it changes your life, right? And again, my kids, they never had a vacation since they were born. Because of Arbonne, I was able to take them for their first vacation to Mexico, just like, last month. Yeah, it was last month. I can't believe it. And they're already talking about, okay, when are we going to Bahamas? I said, okay, first I have to work and earn it. So it's just like in their mind that, no, we are going there. So, and Arbonne, they always tell you that you just need to make sure you earn the first one, take your kids there, and then they will make sure that you earn the rest. So that's another thing. And then because of Arbonne, also the most important thing what happened was I was able to, so after we became a region, we did a donation campaign, and we were able to donate like $30,000 worth of donation, and we gave it back to the same shelter, same place that helped me with my kids and the food. So that is the impact of Arbonne. And that's what I want you to think, like right now, the current situation, we are a company with a heart. with the pride, with the dignity, integrity, rather than using this situation to take advantage. We want to use the situation to help other people, okay? Because think about it, and even if ever anyone questions you, you need to ask yourself, what was it that you were doing even before this coronavirus thing happened? We were asking people to eat healthy and live healthy, even way before coronavirus happened, for 40 years, right? We were already helping people to have a second stream of income or prepare for the impact, right? Again, for 40 years. So it's got nothing to do with coronavirus. And that's why I'm saying, if coronavirus impacts your business, it should impact you only in one way. It should motivate you. It should drive you to do better, because we have a responsibility. Our why just got bigger. I went back to my vision board and I wrote down how many families I want to help. I'm from Pakistan, and back home, most of the people, they live on daily wages, so they all lost their jobs. So it takes like $10 to support a family of two, and then I'm like, okay, how many people I can help? This takes like maybe, and we have so many people doing these campaigns where you can help people with the groceries and the rent, and this has just started. It's going to get bigger and bigger. So that's what I'm saying, rather than slowing down, you have to work harder, because I know everybody who's in Arbonne, they're very special. I know you heard my journey, but I also know all of you have your own story. So you came into this business for a reason. You have a purpose, and that purpose was much bigger than you. And maybe if it was in the beginning, it was not like, if you were not sure, this is now, right now is the time to reflect on it and go for it.
Yeah, 44.
Okay, so that's something, because if we all also talk about in Arbonne that if you have more, you need to do more to have more, so you can give more, right? I don't know if you saw recently that soccer player Leonardo, he just converted his resorts into hospital, right? And then this NBA player, I don't know the name of the guy, but he just committed to paying all the salaries for the arena staff, because all the NBA matches got canceled. So he is going to pay for the staff who will not have any job, the cleaners, the people who schedule the matches, and who run the day-to-day things. How can he do? Because he has it. He worked so hard to get to that level. He is making more and he's sharing it with other people. And that's what I'm saying. You have the gift. This is not like, we were already building our business virtually, and now this is the best time to grow it bigger, right? Use all these opportunities, plug into all these Discover Arbonnes, and then make sure you have guests for every Discover Arbonne. And on a personal level, my biggest tip for you, another thing is, like, we take it very basic and simple. I know we all have our systems, and so you're familiar with the system, you follow your team system, but make sure there are two things that you are able to talk about even when I ask you to do it in your sleep. It's how to present your business and how to present your nutrition. These two presentations should be your first step to memorize it and do it by heart. Like, you should know it by heart. You should not be relying or depending on somebody else to present it for you or do it for you. And then my second tip is, you have to believe in yourself and believe in the business and believe in the products. So if your belief is missing in any of the one of these things, you will not be able to successful. You need to build, the way you're going to build your belief in yourself is make sure you do personal development, okay? Make sure you do reading every day, you plug into different kind of podcasts, you do positive affirmations daily. The way you're going to build your belief in the business, make sure you plug into every team call. Even if you've heard it 1,000 times, plug into it. Listen to all the trainings on the SoundCloud. I'm a training junkie, okay? I listen to at least like 5, or sometime maybe if there's a day I'm feeling down, I don't let anything affect. I don't want sometimes we do get lazy, okay? We do feel down. We're not in that mindset of talking to other people. When I go through that phase, I just listen to the trainings. And when I listen to those trainings, that bring me back to that positive mindset for the next day. So do that. Protect your business like a baby. So a lot of people ask me, how many kids do you have? So I always say I have 3 daughters. So I have Sarah, I have Nora, and I have Arbonne. So Arbonne is my third daughter. I protect my business like a baby. I stay away from negative people. I don't focus on people who don't need this. I focus on people who need this. Imagine I told you, like, this business is like a life jacket for me. So I was drowning. I had no other options. So you can imagine how this business, what kind of impact it had. It was not for me a hobby. It was not an extra money. It changed my life, and it changed my life in a very big way, because there were so many people who were dependent on me. So it changed their life. So imagine you have unlimited supply of these life jackets, and you can give it to as many people as you want. So focus on people who need this, not on the people who don't want it, because our job is not to convince anybody that we are a good company. We do it by our action. They will see it, and they will come to it, and they will understand it. I don't waste my time in convincing anyone. If somebody doesn't want it, if somebody doesn't understand it, I feel like they haven't earned it yet. They don't deserve it yet. I give you another funny example. I don't know how much time we have, but I was in Toronto, and there's another vice president her name is Julie, and she's like one of the top event planner. And I just met her, like, recently. She's not on my team. And I was so my life is still very chaotic. Like, I go day to day. I'm still in a survival mode. So I went to Toronto, and I was supposed to speak on our national conference. I was the trainer, and I haven't bought anything. It's like, oh my God, what are you doing? Okay, I'm going to take you shopping. And it was like, shopping malls were about to close, and we were just running like crazy. And we went to this store, and there was still 5 minutes left. And the lady was so rude. The moment we opened the door, and she said, "We are closed." Like, the way she said it, it was so rude. And me and Julie, we are also like new to each other, and we never talked about it. But look at the values and the way we think about our business. We both looked at each other, and we said, "We are not going to prospect you for Arbonne. I'm not going to share Arbonne with you." So, I mean, like, that's how I feel. I really look at the people. Do I want to share this opportunity with them? Are they going to appreciate it? Or is it the person I want to work with? And this is instant. You already know. And like with Hannah, as I said, like, she's almost like, she's like my daughter. We are half my age, but like in that, like, few minutes when we were standing in the line, we just connected. And I have so much respect for her. She inspires me so much. I learn so much from her. And that's another thing in Arbonne. There is no such thing, the seniority or age, or like, a certain community. You can learn from anyone, and we learn every day. It doesn't matter, even if you become an executive national vice president, your learning doesn't stop. And that is another thing beautiful about this business. This is all about personal development. So I think those are the things. And then I know another thing, I just want to end. Don't let everybody, we were working so hard. We want to walk the GTC stage, and we want to attend the white party and all those things, right? Don't let, I know GTC got canceled. We all got disappointed, and we got more because for us it was last. We are not even allowed to attend the next one. So you were like, oh no, this was our last one, because it's going to be on, I think, only for US people now. But I want you to think about, in my faith, we have this concept, and it is a concept of continuous charity. And I call it like God has created a network marketing concept for doing good deeds too. So so if you imagine, if you help one person, if you change one person's life, and that person will go and change another person. So because of you, so many lives will be changed. And you will get, like, even after you pass away, you will keep getting the reward for those good deeds. So in our faith, our ultimate goal of coming into this world is like, create or do things that are going to benefit us after we die, because we believe this life is temporary, and we go to heaven. So I know it might sound crazy to you, but I was like, think about walking the biggest stage in front of God, in front of angels, and for the pride that you have changed so many people's life. And because of you, somebody was able to was able to come out of their pain and their difficulty. And I'm telling you, there is no reward like like that feeling is the best feeling in the world. Nothing can, you cannot buy it. So, and you have the power. So you have the superpower of this business. If somebody is struggling with health problems, help them become healthy, help them change their life. If somebody is struggling with income, help them become financially established. And just like, share this business with pride. You have to find another Iram. You have to find other people who are literally praying for you to ask. So don't feel that, oh, I don't want to ask this person because I don't know, maybe this person doesn't need it. No, I was praying. I was praying for someone to share this opportunity to me. I also tell you, I just want to end. I can talk about Arbonne like all night. Sorry, Kat, you can stop me. But one last thing, the day I found Arbonne on my social media, the night before that, it was the difficult night, the most difficult night. And we also have a certain times in the nighttime where we believe if you ask, get up, like when everybody's sleeping, and if you wake up and you pray to God, and you anything you ask for, it will be granted. And that night when I woke up, I literally, I felt so hopeless, and I was like, please, God, show me a way that I can do both. I can take care of my family, and I can also be financially independent, but show me a way. And next day, when I woke up, that's the first post I saw. So imagine there are people praying for you to ask them. So go with that belief, go with that passion and pride, and don't let anyone or anything stop you, not even coronavirus.
Yes, that was so amazing. Oh my gosh. Like, seriously, just absolutely incredible. Thank you so, so much for sharing your heart with us and letting us have a glimpse into, what this has been for you, how it's changed your life. I know the comments were absolutely blowing up. So I know that this was such an inspiration to so many. And we just want you to know, like, you're incredible, you're amazing, you're beautiful. Show your face on these Zoom calls because we love to see it. And we just want to thank you so, so much for sharing with us. Your story is just beyond inspirational, and I hope that everybody sees that, when this is something that you have to make work, you can make it work. So thank you so much again, and we love you so, so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.